Now your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
All right, good evening to you on this Tuesday night where we've got increasing clouds across the area again. Overall, it was a nice day, but it was a little bit on the breezy side with those winds that were back up around 15 to 20 miles an hour. Cooling down now to the mid-30s, 36 Champaign, 37 in Springfield, 42 in Effingham is what we're looking at right now. And as people make their way home on what is a very quiet evening, going to see partly cloudy skies, temperatures back down into the 20s. It's going to be kind of a chilly night. We've got a lot of rain, a major storm system setting up for the end of the week into the weekend. We'll share with you what to expect with that coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right
now. Now from WCIA 3 News.
We're putting purchase limits on products.
Marijuana dispensaries are trying to make sure customers don't have to be turned away, while some buyers don't have to worry even if product runs out. Plus, a well-known man in one community was accused of sexual abuse, what he was sentenced to today. And it's training high-performance athletes endure, why some firefighters want to do it too.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 5.
So we have one inventory for recreational products, and we have one inventory for medical products, and that's the way it'll stay.
Even with a green rush for marijuana across the state, dispensaries say one group of customers won't have to worry about a shortage. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini. Jennifer's off tonight. We told you yesterday Sunnyside Dispensary closed its doors to customers for a day to give employees a break. Now other dispensaries are opening up about some of the struggles they're seeing with the rollout. WCIA 3's Gabrielle Franklin joins us live tonight. So Gabrielle, what are some of the other issues these dispensaries are facing?
Well, Paul, some dispensaries around the state are actually running out of some of those items to sell to customers. But if you are a medical cannabis patient, state law is making sure that they always have some of that supply for you. Now, lines are not nearly as long this week as they were last week around the state. Here in Springfield, Illinois Supply and Provisions estimates the average wait is around 15 minutes, which is down from 4 hours just last week. Several dispensaries in Chicago had to close their doors for recreational sales, but dispensaries in Central Illinois are making adjustments to make sure they always have enough for everyone.
We're putting purchase limits on products, not just once a day, but multiple times a day, depending on the demand and the supply that we have. So that's constantly being adjusted, all with the philosophy of making sure that we can serve as many people as we can.
Now, by law, dispensaries that were medical dispensaries before they were recreational have to have 1 month's supply on hand for medical patients at all times. Now, as far as staffing goes, Illinois Supply and Provisions says that their workers are indeed exhausted, but they're making sure that they have time off and that they're taking breaks just so they make sure that everyone is served properly. Paul?
All right, Gabrielle, thanks for that update. Now, becoming qualified to work in a dispensary in Illinois is no walk in the park. Owners, managers, employees, and agents who handle the sale of marijuana and cannabis-infused products have to undergo at least 8 hours of responsible vendor training. That's under state law. The Urbana School District is figuring out how to handle the legalization of marijuana. The district's lawyer will give a presentation at the school board meeting tonight on the new law and show how it could impact staff and students. She'll be reviewing the details of regulations of pot, plus how the district plans to handle recreational use by employees. We'll have more information on what comes out of that meeting tonight at 10 o'clock. Parents in the Champaign School District will have a chance to speak directly to the superintendent tonight. There will be a listening session at Garden Hills Academy at 5:30. The district is asking people to give their input in 3 areas: academic performance gaps, program development, and enrollment growth. There will be another meeting at International Prep Academy on Thursday to discuss the same things. Last month, parents say they were caught off guard by a district proposal to swap students between Garden Hills and IPA to make room for a bigger Spanish-English dual language program. We have a follow-up to a sexual abuse case. A man accused of sexually abusing a teenager will serve 2 years probation. David Woodrow of Danville pleaded guilty to sexual abuse today. State's attorney says Woodrow got to know his victim through a theater company. He was accused in 2011. Woodrow is required to register as a sex offender for life and undergo counseling. A Mattoon police officer is facing DUI charges. WCIA 3's Karina Rubio joins us now from the newsroom. Karina, this cop is also a school resource officer.
Officer Shane West is an SRO at Mattoon Middle School and Williams Elementary. He's facing a misdemeanor charges for driving under the influence with a BAC level above .08. West was pulled over by a Coles County deputy around 12:30 a.m. on December 21st. The Journal-Gazette reports he's currently on administrative leave. I reached out to the Coles County Sheriff and Mattoon Police for more information, but have not received a response yet. I also reached out to the Mattoon School Superintendent. He did not want to comment. Back to you.
All right, if you get more information about this, let us know. Karina, thanks. A man from Champaign was sentenced in federal court to 13 years in prison for making and selling counterfeit pills. Stephen Camano made more than 4 million counterfeit Xanax pills for more than a year in his garage and sold them to people across the U.S. He made millions of dollars doing it. He pleaded guilty in April. A new state law could lead to harsher sentences for crimes of battery or assault in religious places. Religious hate crimes and their impact on faith-based communities have recently made national headlines. This weekend, thousands marched in solidarity in New York City. A rabbi at Sinai Temple in Champaign says while he supports stricter penalties, he believes there should be a multifaceted approach when it comes to attacks in houses of worship.
Without education, without introduction to, who is this group that you've been so indoctrinated to hate, I think that there needs to be that component as well. And I'm always about, trying to educate.
Cook says he also wants to see a focus on stopping acts before they happen. The Department of Corrections is reviewing a policy about what books are allowed in prison. Last year, more than 200 books were removed from the Danville Correctional Center. They were about things like race, gender, sexuality, and dealing with family members in prison. The books were returned last summer. In November, the DOC implemented a procedure to determine which books are allowed. It's adjusting that policy to make sure it's safe, secure, and educational.
I think one of the things that we wanted the Department of Corrections to continue to review is the appeals process. So assuming that a person who is in Danville has a denied item, a book that's denied access to, that there has to be some kind of appeals process to review that and give that person an opportunity to state the reasons why they requested whatever material they may have requested.
The DOC hopes the revised policy will be put in place within the next 60 days. A fire destroyed the building for several businesses, but that didn't stop them from getting back up and running. Plus, it's a program designed by Navy SEALs, how it's being used to help one fire department.